right. Hey, Arafat. First one to say hi tonight. Good job. You win the first chat award. Hey, everybody. It's Chris here. Chris here. It's 11/16/2014, and we are back. We are back. Hope everyone's staying warm. The whole eastern seaboard has seems to be under some cold temperatures tonight and today. I hope everyone's been staying warm. Good evening, everybody. Telemont says 80 degrees here. Well, where's here, Mr. Telemont? Where's here? Oh, Las Vegas is pretty cold too. Yeah. Guys, it's 8:32. Okay, it's 8:32 right now. We're gonna dive right into this just because we have potential yellow light very early on. So I am going to dive into this. We'll keep talking about it. We need to get some things out of the way first. All right, we're first going to deal with the news. All right, as we always do. And with that being said, let's get, like I said, there's tentative yen news, okay? And it's considered high impact. It's the monetary policy statement, and this is going to be moving the market sporadically through the entire Asian session, okay? So this is not to be underestimated, and there's an actual news release scheduled to be released at 11:30. But nothing else big being released during that time, but we have one that we might as well consider in a news release during our entire session. All right, and the reason why I was calling it a potential yellow light is we had price right up here on the dollar yen as we were talking. I was talking about temperatures, and I would have liked this for a very solid put right here. But price just dropped out. It's not going to hold on for us, so it might be done with. But we're going to let that one ride. But just in case, let's be ready. I'm going to make sure my broker's ready to go already. I know this is early. I know it's early, but you know, we don't control when they were here. And actually, a little bit ago, okay, about 20 minutes ago, there was a very, very good trade actually on the yen. But that was before a session. It would have been right here in the just touching the green of the Ichimoku cloud. I saw that happen. And I was like, man. But I knew this was going to happen in our session. Hopefully, we can get something out of this here. This is the dollar yen we're looking at, and we'd be looking for a good solid put entry. I know we're diving right into it, but you know, I don't want to catch anyone by surprise. Okay, so that's no tricks here, right? But with that being said, we've got a yellow light called already. Okay, I know it's very early. It's very early, but we have a yellow light called already, and we'd be looking for a trade in about 45 seconds if we're actually to pull the trigger. With that being said, we've got cold in Cincinnati. It's warm in Vegas. Cold in Vegas as well. Dominican Republic's nice and warm. New York is 28. I love it. Okay. Oliver, you're crazy. If you like 28, you're out of your mind. That's if my water becomes a solid, I don't like it. I don't want my water to become a solid. I'm sorry. I like it in liquid state. I like it just fine the way it is. I like being able to drink it. I don't have to chew my water. All right, guys. I know it's early, but this is where we're deciding whether we're going to pull the trigger or not. It's a dollar yen, and we are looking for a put. I haven't done it yet, but we've got 5 seconds or so. Well, maybe 10. About 10 seconds or so if we're actually going to do this or not. Okay. So hold on, guys. Hold on your horses. All right. One last look at the euro, and we're not going to do it. Okay? Not solid enough of a read. But what we wanted here, the reason why I got really excited and called it off right off the bat, is there was a point, all right? There was a point where price was let me just do it with the crosshair. Price was up here, where you see where this wick is? Price was right here. And if this candle was to close green with a little rejection, with a little bit of a wick right here, oh, Lord, I would have been putting the ever-living, you know, I would have been in this very hard. I would have been in this one very, very hard. So I didn't want you guys to miss that if it arrives. It didn't, because it ended up getting shoved right back down. And that's what we were expecting. We were just kind of hoping that it would do it towards the close of the candle. But it's okay. There'll definitely be more. We got a lot of good action going on tonight. The Aussie's very, very stair-stepping. Look at this, guys. On the way down, it is definitely on a downtrend here. Okay, and it's doing stair steps. 1, 2, 3, slowing greens, huge fallout. 1, 2, 3, huge fallout. 1. No, that's really only 1 there. Big fallout. 1, 2, big fall. 1, 2. Here comes another fall. So the Aussie is stair stepping. We can use that to our advantage. The only thing to pay attention here with the Aussie is these falls are getting farther. They're putting it farther and farther away from where it's expected to be. This curve is starting to become more straight down than a smooth curve like this. And because of that, eventually the market's going to give and it's going to start pulling back the other way. Okay, the overall trend might want to continue downward, but it is going to start pulling back. So you're going to start to see a little more green action. Okay, because it is getting a little overextended here. I mean, look how far it is from our Ichimoku cloud up here. Right, it's getting a little out of there, a little out of line here. But so with that being said, let's we got plenty of time to talk now. Plenty of time to talk. So I hope everyone had a good night and last night and and had a good day today. We were talking about how it's cold. I live in Florida, and it is entirely too cold for me today. It came out of nowhere. I like to stay fit. I like to work out, and I like to go for a run on the beach, and it was very, very cold. It was 49 was the last temperature my phone was telling me, and that's entirely too cold for me. It's not supposed to be that cold in Florida. 49 is just freezing. All right, Oliver, I understand you're an Eskimo, all right? I understand you're an Eskimo. I'm not an Eskimo. I wasn't built that way. West Palm Beach, Tilamont. I lived in South Florida. Seattle, Chile. Oh, yeah, Seattle. I don't know that I'd like to live there. Entirely too rainy. Exactly. Tilamont understands it's very cold for this part of Florida. I'm used to staying in temperatures like Tilamont is in the Dominican. It's our winter temperatures are in the 70s usually, the higher 70s somewhere, like 73, 74. If it drops in the 60s, I'm cold. 70, I'm sweating. Yeah, no. It takes a lot to get me to sweat. I like to, like I said, I already like to work out as it is, and it takes an awful lot, and especially because it's Florida. I'm used to humidity, so I'm like a lizard. I do very well in the heat. That's right. Sun's out, guns out. All right, let's get some lines drawn here. The only thing that we're really going to be looking at tonight are pretty much trend lines. Tonight is a very good trend line night, okay? Not so solid as far as just plain horizontal levels, but trend lines are going to be our friend tonight, and we're going to make some big plays on trend lines tonight, absolutely. You always have to adapt to the market. You can't use any one strategy continuously. You can't, because the market isn't continuously doing the same thing, okay? So we're gonna draw some little trend lines here. Hold on. That's right. Hold on. Sometimes it's a little tricky getting exactly where I want, so I got to get the angle right there. All right, so there's one. The dollar yen will actually give us some horizontal lines, but actually quite a few. All right. All right. So as you can see now that I'm getting the line here, the next pair I am eager and interested in is the Aussie, okay? I'd be looking for the Aussie to rise up. What I was telling you guys is it's fallen a little too quickly now. It is on a downtrend, but it's kind of, these steps are pretty hard and heavy. It's going to reach back up, but it's not done with its downtrend, okay? It's not done with its downtrend. Now we zoom out a little bit more, okay? We see that's a huge fall, very, very huge fall. So it is going to want to rise up at some point here, okay? We actually have a line here already, okay? I'm not sure when that line was driven or drawn, but the reason it's there is because I drew it, okay? And that's good enough. I already know why I drew it based on other levels, and those levels will hold into the future. So that's a pretty perfect bounce for a line that I didn't even know was there. I did not put that line there tonight, so that's pretty awesome. But we are going to watch this. Got to be careful with it. Okay, we got to be careful with it because it is so far down. And like I said, when we zoom out and we look at this, I'm going to put this on the big screen here. All right, there we go. This is the Aussie dollar we're looking at. Look at this huge fallout here. Plume, just crashed. It was right on down. It was kind of going sideways for quite a while. This is the 17th over here. Here we go. And down. Down she goes. All right. So whether it's going to maintain this, the market will tell us if it's to break new levels. But right now, nothing has really given us a solid indication that it's going to, begin an uptrend and retrace this entire movement yet. Nothing has given us that indication yet. This trend is still down, and we're going to treat it as such. Okay. So it's rising, and this is what we do when it's in a downtrend. We wait for a rise to catch a good entry. Okay. That's all we're going to do with that bad boy. Might be in this candle, so I'll call a yellow light when it's out there. But we will see. We need to see how it reacts to the trend line, because when this is finally going to go, this is how you'll know, guys. This trend line will break, and once this is broken, then we got a whole nother ball game to look at here. Whole nother game we'll be playing. What we got here? Charles. Charles says, Chris, I just lost a 2-minute put on the euro dollar at the resistance line. What should I have been looking for? What resistance line? Because this is the euro dollar here, and there hasn't been a trade present for the euro dollar just yet. So this is the current candle. All right, you want to do your absolute best on 5-minute trades. You never want to trade on moving data. Okay, you do not want to trade on moving data. As you start to mess around with 60 seconds, it's a little bit different. You can grab things at specific areas. But this is the first candle to finally touch this. So this is the only candle that has touched this resistance line yet. Okay, and you would want to trade on the close of this. So I don't see this was not a trade yet. And we'll go over that. Essentially, guys, if you're new, we've got the lines on here, all right, and those are a little bit more for more experienced members, okay, and you'll learn how to use those as they go. If you're new, I don't want you to jump in and see purple lines and place trades just based on them, okay. You're going to be able to do that eventually. Yes, you will, and it won't take long for you to figure those out. But don't do it if you're new, because you're not going to, for example, right now, there wasn't a trade there, and he took a trade that, really hasn't even arrived yet, because he would be wanting to take it at 8:44 and something seconds, and now it's 8:44. So the trade would be arriving somewhere around now. Okay, now where it's getting rejected below. And you have to see, the whole idea here, guys, is we see how price is to close and react to our purple lines. All right, where I draw these lines, we're seeing where price is going to close and react to it. All right, and that determines whether we're going to make our entries or not. So if we see price get rejected, and if one keeps wanting to close below these lines, or keeps wanting to get bounce off these lines, find support, okay, that's how we place our trades, based on those lines. All right. You don't take price and say, oh, right now it's up, because the price will shoot up through lines at times. It will drop through lines, and that's fine. That's how we take that as a reading. But where it's going to close is where we're going to make our final decision. Okay, that's what matters. Yeah. Right now, they are looking to break trends, so we're going to leave them alone. Okay, there is no trade right now. There is no trade. And if you're new, okay, please, please, please ask. I'd rather you ask before you do something, because I'm here to help you guys, and I will get you guys doing it correctly. Absolutely. Yeah, I'm too determined not to. All right. I just ask if you're unsure about something instead of going into something blindly. All right. Tuition payment, absolutely, it is, Charles. But it just, at the same time, my personal goal is to make sure that you guys have as few losses as absolutely possible. So if I can prevent that by you just asking a question before you take a trade, that'd be a good idea. Right now, both of these have closed over the trend line. All right, so this is a pretty big area. We have to find out. We're going to wait one more candle to see, how it actually reacts to this zone. Okay, we need to see if it's really going to break up now. Because if this is to close another green or another green here on the other side of this trend line, the trend might completely have reversed now. So that's pretty big news. Right. Let's see. Can you explain why you buy? Hold on. Let's see. AS says, can you explain why you buy at the 04 and 09 again, please? Absolutely. Okay. Absolutely. All right. We're placing trades at specific times. It's always all of these charts here, except for this bottom right one, are 5-minute candle charts. Okay. These are all 5-minute candles. Okay. So we're taking 5-minute trades. 300 seconds is 5 minutes. Now we want to trade as much as possible on the most accurate, in the most accurate way possible, and that is on closed data. Okay, you're going to get your best readings from data that has closed. I can read this candle here and say, okay, this closed pretty much pin bar. Okay, not fully there yet because it's still bullish, but our best readings are going to be on closed data. Okay, all day, every day. What it's doing in the meantime doesn't really matter so much for an entry. You want everything in your favor, and trading on moving data is just not smart. If you can wait, and we can wait. There's nothing making us jump into trades. We don't have to jump into trades. If we're not ready to jump in, we don't jump in. You don't want to jump in blind. There's no reason to. There's nothing here. There's no time frame that says, oh, we have to take this trade now, this, that, or the other. There isn't. We're going to take the trades we like based on the best possible circumstances every time. Okay. So we don't trade on moving data. We absolutely try our absolute best to not trade on moving data. And with that being said, taking a trade at, for example, 8:49 and 50 seconds, 55 seconds, anywhere around there, or 8:50 even on the dot. Okay, that is on the close of a candle. We're taking a trade on the close of the candle in prediction for the next 5-minute candle, where the next candle is to close. And our predictions are easiest to read when we're looking at a close candle here, and our prediction is for the close of the next candle. If we take a close here, our prediction is exactly where the next candle is going to close. So the whole idea behind that is, if we have our best possible reading on one solid candle, this candle comes and closes, all right? The whole idea is 300 seconds from the close of this candle will be the exact close of the next candle. So if I have an idea that this candle is going to be red or green, all right? If I have an idea that because of this candle is going to be red or green, all right, it's going to be bullish or bearish, it doesn't really matter how much it is bullish or how much it is bearish. As long as I know it's going to be bullish or bearish, I'm going to win that trade if I take it as close as possible to the end. As long as if it goes up at all and I took a call, it's going to win. If it goes down at all and I took a put, it's going to win because we took it exactly at the close. All right. There's other reasons why we take them at the very end too, just to help people that are on brokers that don't offer 300-second options. But I try not to say that anymore, because if you're not on a broker that offers a 300-second option, you're still going to have all kinds of problems. And I really don't recommend trading on a platform. It's much harder to trade on a platform that offers a 5-minute trade, because it's not truly 300 seconds versus a 300-second trade. But look, guys, it looks like the trend is finally breaking here. Okay, it's finally breaking. All right, this is a very solid V. This point here has finally risen over all of the others. What we're seeing here is we see a step up. All right, another step up. Another step up, but what we're noticing with all these steps up is every step up is lower than the previous step. So in truth, these are all step down. All right, this is all step downs. Okay, this is the first one that is finally going up higher than the previous. So we have something here. All right, we have a breakout here. Look at it on the pound dollar. All right, if I draw a line right here, just on these highs, just for those highs, you have a breakout here. All right, we've got breakouts on pretty much everything. The only thing that's not truly breaking out right now is the dollar yen, but the dollar yen is doing what we would expect. Okay, it is falling out, and this is what we were expecting. Dollar yen hit up here. This is the trade we were wanting to take, but it didn't provide it to us. We were going to be jumping all over that for a put. But that being said, all we can do is wait for our entries and strike them like we always do. So that's what we're going to do. Got a bottom right here that I like very much so on our 1 minute. Okay, it's going to take a heck of a fallout for it to get back down there, but it might do it tonight. It might. All right. This is a high of an area that I do like as well. Okay. Pretty important area. Other than that, there aren't a lot of solid areas formed just yet on our 1 minute charts that I really like. These two are pretty good areas though. All right. And we'll mark the high of the previous high, okay? The closest previous high, which is way up here, but we'll leave those marked on the 1 minute there. All right. Let's see. It says Prophet says looks like euro. Oh, hold on. I got some questions answered. Frank says, does double confirm the trend with higher expiry time frame to filter the trend? hold on, I'm trying to understand this. Do you double confirm the trend with higher expiry time frame to filter the trend? Okay, I think I understand what you're saying. Are you saying, Frank? What you saying is, are you saying, do I look at different time frames to confirm which direction the trend is going overall before I place a trade? Is that what you're saying there? Okay. Yes and no. We went over this a little bit yesterday. Someone asked it, and if you didn't hear it, that's not your fault at all. But essentially, we are 300-second traders here. We're short-term traders. So what the trend is doing between 2013 and 2014, I don't care. It doesn't bother me one bit, and it doesn't matter. And you shouldn't be looking that far out. I'm using that as a very rough example, but what I'm saying is we look at the trend that we care about is two trends, okay? We care about the very short term, which is what I call this one, okay? This little green trend. So in the very short term, yes, it's rising right now, okay? And then the second trend we care about is this trend, okay? So this trend is falling, this trend is rising. So what we're looking for is once we have this trend falling, we're looking for a temporary trend to rise, and we're going to catch it to break, and we'd be looking for a put entry off of a temporary rising trend. Okay, so that's essentially what we're doing when we're taking trades like that, looking, when we're trying to be with the trend here. This is the overall trend that we want to be in. We want to coincide with. Doesn't mean we always will, but this is the trend that we want to coincide with. Anything bigger than this, all right, bigger than the distance of this, the trend really doesn't matter. Okay, you're starting to get on too large of a time frame, too large of a time scale for it to really matter. Got a pretty heavy fallout right now, but we'll be curious to see how it holds. Okay, how it holds, if this is actually going to make it back down below our trend line. All right. We're going to drop a bottom here. Okay, we are going to drop a bottom on the 60-second charts. It's ping-ponging around there. This bottom purple line here is these wicks right here. Okay, that's what this is. This is our 1-minute euro. This is our 5-minute euro. This line is right here. Okay, I'll mark it on the euro as well, because that is a little tested area. And then let's see what we got. Prophet says, looks like the euro hit some very strong support. The euro has hit some very strong support. I think he's talking about down here, okay? We don't have it marked because it already happened, and I don't believe it's coming back down here anytime soon just yet. But let's see. Yep. Very strong support indeed. We could put a line there. It doesn't. I try to keep the lines that matter most, right in the, in our scheme of things. The ones that they're going to hit as soon as possible. If it starts heading down here, I will end up putting a line somewhere around here, okay, where I like it. But it doesn't matter right this second. It's not in this zone. It doesn't pertain to us. But absolutely, that's a good eye, Prophet. Very good eye. Frank says I already answered that. Okay. Okay. All right. Good stuff. Good stuff. All right. Huge rise on the yen here. Big solid movements. Big solid movements. Kicked out already. Not calling a yellow light, but I just noticed that I was kicked out, so I'm logging back into my broker. Had a couple ideal trade setups already that didn't get fruition for the room just yet. Okay, they haven't come in just yet, but we have action, so it is not looking to be a slow night as it's sitting right now. The pound dollar just broke out at these highs. Okay, it just tanked rather hard, very hard. There we go. There we go. All right. Let's see. Just ask what nights are typically most active. It varies, but it generally our most active nights seem to be Tuesdays and Wednesdays. Tuesdays and Wednesdays are our most active. Mondays and Thursdays are our craziest, with Thursdays taking the cake, though. Thursdays are our absolute hardest day trading. Now they're still tradable. Don't take it the wrong way. They are still tradable, and we still do trade them and like to. Okay, but Fridays are very arguable if you should even bother with it. Very, very arguable. Fridays they're called Freaky Fridays for a reason. Okay, and because of that, I think even in our morning session we won't be messing with Fridays. Very good chance that we won't be. Support right here at the crossover, very strong support. Okay, so this X is holding beautifully on our euro, and so we have confirmation of that. That's good. Very strong area right here. We see support once, okay, and now we're seeing it again. We saw it act as a resistance for these candles. They come up and rejected. Okay. So finally broke through it easily. Hard breakthrough, comes up into our next little zone here. We have a nice little angle here, and it should be continuously up and out this way until it's to do some kind of crazy action with a breakthrough. So our market is alive and kicking, just waiting to catch some field mice and bop them on the head. Let's see if we can't get our famed 9 o'clock trade. We got 2 minutes out still. Okay, 2 minutes out. It is possible that we have a trade on the yen. Just for safety's sake, I'm going to end up calling a yellow light here, but not yet because it's a little too early. Robert said, Chris, you said you like to stay fit. Do you supplement at all, like use pre-workouts or protein powders? Honestly, Prophet, I used to, but I'm not too big on them. I'm more or less, I like to eat clean. I like to eat, a lot of chicken, a lot of fish. I like to get a lot of natural proteins in. I'm not about trying to look like Arnold. So I'm more or less about, endurance and just being very toned. I don't think we've ever talked about that in our training room before. Oh gosh, we probably have some new members tonight that are wondering what in the world. That's all right. I like this stuff. It keeps it interesting for me. I think we touch on some very strange topics in here, and I like all of them. I like it. It gives us food for thought, and it breaks. Trading becomes tedious at times. It really does, and it is very, very mentally straining. Even for you guys. So it is good to have a refresher and get a little bit of a thought elsewhere at times. So I do like stuff like that. With that being said, we're in our final run. I'm going to call a yellow light now. So this is the time to check your broker, make sure you're page and you're logged in, ready to go, because we might be taking a trade in about 30 seconds. In about 30 seconds, we might be taking a trade. Okay. And right now, the trade that we're looking for would be on the dollar yen. That is pretty much the only trade that we're interested in right now. All right. So the dollar yen is pretty much the only trade that we want, but we will see. It's not looking too fantastic right now, so there's a good chance we're not, unless it makes a quick spike that I want to see. So we're probably going to end up waiting one more. But we would be looking for a put, so there's no surprises there. We'd be looking for a put on the dollar yen, but it's not going to do it. I can already tell it's not. So no rush. All right, looking at 904. 904 is probably our first trade. Okay, if the market can hold on and push up, what we're looking to see here is one more touch of this purple line. This is what we were hoping. This is what we would have pulled the trigger on. If this spiked up and hit our purple line, we would have pulled the trigger. That's really what we were waiting for on that last trade. That's why we didn't get one. Now, if this can push up and touch our purple line, that means 904 is going to give us a trade. Okay. Right now, the problem is the market is in that temporary range. It does like to do this right in the open of the market at times. It did it last night, but then the market came alive very well last night. So, we got 2 solid winners in last night and chugged right along. Good open to our week. 2 big old winners. More for some people. And then naturally, some of our new members made mistakes. I think we had one guy enter on the wrong pair. A pair that we don't even trade. but it keeps the room exciting. Kelly was 1,761 to 2 last night. Jess Kelly was 127 to 0. Tielemont, I think your numbers get bigger every night with your estimates of Kelly's winnings. I could be wrong, but I think your numbers are starting to grow a little too exponentially. You know, you're going to start typing millions by the next week. Oh no. Duncan's making her slow down. Typical man, slowing down the woman. I just threw you under the bus, Duncan. Kelly, you were trained before coming into Owl's Roost? No, Kelly was actually brand new when she came in here. She's been with us a while, though. Kelly is a new trader, but she's done well, so. She's been with us for a bit, though, so she's not new in that sense, but she's been with us for quite a bit now. For a few months, I believe. You see this little action here around this X, guys, on the euro? All right, this is what we're looking for with our lines. This is what we want to see. We want to see them respect these lines. Okay, once they do, that means this line is, think of it in your head as getting fatter and stronger. It's more respectable, right? So that means, you know, trades off of these lines will be that much more reliable. So if the line hasn't been tested yet, right, you have nothing, you don't have anything yet. You don't want to take a trade blindly, okay? You know, you want to make sure that that they're respecting the lines, and once they're respecting the lines, there you go, boom, you've got your entries. It's easy stuff, it really is. But here you go, here you go. You saw euro on the 1 minute bounce down, touch this, bounce right back up. So very good stuff here. All right. We really would like this dollar yen to jump up. I don't want it to tank just yet. I don't want a red candle here. I'm hoping for an entry at 904. Might not give it to us, but we'll be ready just in case. You know, it made some last minute rises at the in the end of that last candle. It was down, and it made a last minute bullish push at the very. It charged up at the very end there, so it might do it this candle. It might mimic this candle, have a 50% wick, and jump on up another pip or two. That'd be pretty ideal. It should be pretty ideal, guys. We will see. Everything's very 50-50 right now. Oh, I appreciate that, Kelly. Thank you. Thank you, T. Lamont. Always appreciate the support. All right, let's see here. Let's see here. Curious to see if the euro dollar on the 1 minute gets stuck in the zone. All right. We're not going to have a trade, guys. I'm not calling a yellow light because we don't have one yet. These are really crappy closes right now. Really crappy closes. The best thing we've got is the euro on the 1 minute chart. It did get rejected just a little bit off of the purple line perfectly. So there's a chance that it might stay in the zone, but I'm not touching that for a 5 minute trade. So we will see what we have here. The euro or the dollar yen fell pretty hard and heavy and very, very bearishly. But the problem is it fell almost to a support, but didn't actually make it to support yet. So we have no idea how it's going to react once it gets here. So this doesn't give us a lot of room for this to go down. If we get in for a put here on the dollar yen and it comes down just a couple ticks and strikes this and bounces up, we're screwed. Okay, and we don't know. We need to see how it reacts to this line first. Okay, what we'd want if we were in for a put is we want it to ignore this line. All right, we want to see it plow through it. But, you know, we have no idea yet. It hasn't touched it yet, so there's no way, so we're leaving it alone. That euro, look at this euro in the 1 minute. It is definitely getting stuck in this range here. Came down, flung up, came up, flung down. Purple, purple, purple. All right, what's this? Frank, euro haven't tested level yet. Times right here. Frank, this is look at all these. All right, it broke through in this candle here. All right, this candle here is the breakthrough. Once this happens, you know you're not looking for puts anymore. All right, now you're looking for calls when on the bounce ups. Okay, so here's one bounce. Okay, come down all the way here. Bounce up, come all the way down, bounce up. It's tested it like 4 times. And looking on the 1 minute charts, the euro has been tested multiple times. Probably more than any of our pairs right now. But with that being said, we're still waiting for this dollar yen. I like the dollar yen a little more, but the euro could provide itself something here, but we'll see. It's not pressure. It's not pressure. You can do it. You can do it. I did it without a room. Okay, so you could do it on your own. So it's no pressure on me. I already do this. The pressure's on you because you got to figure it out now. So yeah, 4 times. Yeah, tested 4 times. 1, 2, 3, 4. About to be a 5th. Watch this. Watch this live in action here. This is a lot of times very quickly that it's been ping-ponging off this support here. In our 1 minute charts, we have a lot of good response here with this top level and bottom level. Okay, there's only been 1, 2 times where this would have gotten you a loss here. There's only 2 where it would have been 1, 2, 3, 4, because that ended up coming back down. Where's another entry? 5. And 6, 7, 8, 9. So just the lines would have gotten you 9 wins and probably 2 losses, maybe 3 losses. Just the lines there, but you want to use caution when you need to know how to use them. Okay, Kelly knows how to use them, so and that goes without saying. But if you're new, don't blindly trade the purple lines. That's for our more advanced members. I still will give signals, so don't, there's no rush. Don't get a little too overzealous on me. Frank says 5th. Can I take it? Yes, you could trade these lines if you want to, absolutely. But I'd want to make sure that it tests it first. This candle has not touched it yet. It came very close and the market got a little too excited. I would not touch this one yet. Okay, you want to see it touch it and bounce off of it, go through it, and then bounce above it, something like that. This hasn't actually reached it yet. All these other ones reached. These have not yet. This exact candle has not yet. You see how there's a little gap there? It might be a little hard if you see. It's a very small. There's a gap above it. It's a couple ticks, and it has not reached yet. And also it's a little too high right now. That's a poor entry for a call right there. You want to get as close to that purple line as possible. That's Tila Banca. 2,500 chain every week. 1 bid, 3,500 for newbies. Don't feel you have become Kelly just yet. Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. Look at this on the Aussie. Aussie's got a similar setup to the euro right now, where it has a break through the trend line. Now it seems to be sitting on something magical right here. Right, actually that's a little low. It needs to be a little higher than that. Right there, there it is. So it needs to encompass this touch here, this touch and bounce above. All right. I knew it was a little quiet. Where's my music at? Where is my music at? What do we got tonight? Some Lindsey Sterling. All right, I can dig it. I can dig it. Always, always like my sister. CCI is good. Yep, all those are good. You're going to go through stages in your trading career where you feel that indicators are needed to trade. Okay, really they're not. But hold on, guys. Look at the euro right now. All right, euro is now testing. Okay, now we have to react on what it's doing here. All right, there's a bounce off of it. Okay, there is a bounce off of it, and our dollar yen is pushing up to the area we want to see. We got stuff now. All right, this is, if you're not paying attention, you need to pay attention now. Okay, we've got some stuff here. Okay, euro dollar is testing it right now. Okay, and seems to be holding. Seems to be holding fine. It might push just a little lower because this is still pushing up and this is kind of lagged behind. I'd expect to see this euro tick down maybe just a little more, but this is still holding incredibly strong. So if this keeps pushing up, I really would like to see this test this, but this is okay. This is okay. This is better. This is better. All right, guys, we are going to have some action here, okay, in about 2 minutes. It's almost a surefire thing unless something crazy happens. Unless something crazy happens, we're going to have some action here in about 2 minutes. So here we go. Come on. We would like to see it test up and bounce a little more, but it doesn't have to. It does not have to. We'd like to see it push just a little more, that dollar yen. The dollar yen's the one we're looking at. In the direction we're looking for the dollar yen would be a put. Okay, would be a put. And that coincide with what the euro is doing. Okay, we got the euro on a level we're expecting to bounce off of and continue to rise like it's done 5 other times. Okay, so when this is to fall, this candle is going to give it the rise here. Look at that. See, boing, bouncing hard off of this line. Look at this on the 1 minute, guys. Look at this. Wham, straight up, straight up. Yep. Would be a good time to go refresh your brokers. I usually tell people that about 2 minutes out. Okay, or 1 minute out. I do that 2 or 1 minute out because I don't know exactly how long it takes for the brokers to log you out. So I do it as late as possible with enough time for people to refresh. So that's the idea there. But look at the bounce here, though. You see this? Huge. These levels are holding so strong on the euro on 1 minutes. I mean, these are robberies. I'm actually kind of surprised that I haven't seen any posts from Kelly just yet. The dollar yen is still our target. Yes, we're still looking at the dollar yen. We're still looking at the dollar yen. We want to push it. We want it to push higher. This jump is early. It's premature. It makes sense why it has done it though. Why the euro did it. That is absolutely to be expected. Okay, it is to be expected. But we were kind of hoping it could hold on for the remainder of the candle. We wanted this to stay red, so this could stay a stronger green, and then push red into the open of our candle and shove this bad boy on down. But this is fine. This is fine. It's still a very bullish setup, and that would still be in our favor. So this is a yellow light. This is a yellow light. Time to refresh the brokers. Make sure you're good to go if you haven't already. If you have, I'm sure most of you already have. But if you haven't already, it's a good time to do it. This is our yellow light, and we're looking to see if we're going to pull the trigger here on the dollar yen. All right, we're looking to see if we're going to pull the trigger here on dollar yen. All right. All right, we're looking for a put here. We haven't done it yet. All right. We haven't done it yet. And we're going for it. We're taking a put on the dollar yen. I like it. All right, it's got movement going down. It's going to give us a nice open. Okay, should give us a nice open in our favor. We'll end up pulling back a little bit, but it is working its way down right now. I just took a put on the dollar yen, and I took it at 126. Posting it in chat now. Okay. All right. The dollar yen was very close to a zone where we were going to cancel the trade, but it ended up coming down just enough to where we still wanted it. All right, there was 2 areas for the dollar yen to go in. Okay, well, let me get the. All right, I never posted my trade. Oh, yes, I did. Yes, I did. Yeah, I did 126. All right, let me show you something here, guys. All right. And I got a little bounce right there as it fell. Broke this candle, which is fantastic news. All right, here's the thing with the dollar yen, okay? So the dollar yen, we wanted it up here, okay? We wanted it up here, anywhere around this zone, because we're expecting a huge fallout up here as we have gotten every single... Look how hard this fell, guys, once it reached up here. In one candle, it fell out. Good read for us. So we wanted it up here. Here, we didn't want it. This is 50 zone. This is 50-50. We don't like it here. There's nothing really helping us here. Once it got pushed all the way down to here, it came back into these highs, which is very good. This is very good because then that ends up giving us a small level here, all right, right at these highs, okay, right at the top of that wick there. And it closed underneath that line. It wasn't drawn yet because that's not an ideal level to you know, for you guys to try. This is a little bit more, this a little higher level experience. But this is what the only reason this line's here is to show you these highs, and this is what made the trade okay. Okay, is it dropped just low enough to be a good trade with bearish momentum that's going to push it down in the open like it has. Okay, so we start off with a great start, pretty much guaranteed every time we've got that momentum going that way. And not only that, we have something helping us because if it does push back up to a doji, it's going to have quite a little bit of trouble trying to push through this area. So we got a lot of stuff in our favor there. And on the off chance that it rockets up, it's going to get rejected again all the way up here, and it'll give us another second chance for it to be shut right on back down. AS says 116. AS, what broker are you trading on, bud? That's a huge difference. Okay, you're late. That'll do it. I'm sure you're more than fine now, though. No big deal. All right. This is what we don't want, though, AS. You know, for people like you. We've got it pushing down. It's now hitting my bottom purple line. What is it going to do at the bottom purple line? It's going to bounce. It's going to bounce. It already has just a little bit. You see this wick here? It already reached it and bounced a little bit. We want to see it blow through it. There's the bounce again. Touched it. Boing. Right back up. It's like a trampoline. All right. But you want this candle to be like the fat kid on the trampoline after a 4th of July party where someone burned a little bit of a hole in the trampoline. You want this thing to come down. You want this fat kid to fall right through this trampoline here. All right. I don't know if that's the most socially acceptable analogy that I've ever said, but I've said some silly things in this room, and I guess we'll let that one slide. All right. All right, so what we want now, Telamont said Telamont was the fat kid. So Telamont, we want Telamont to fall through the trampoline. All right. So fall on through the trampoline, Telamont. Oh, Telamont, those springs are new. They're holding for you. They're holding for you right now. You see the support almost exactly to the T here as soon as it hits this? And that's fine. That's fine. Ooh, last minute fight. Very, very last minute fight, okay? Which is fine because it's long enough out there for it's going to give it another pull back down here, okay? All right, see, there's a little bit pull back down. We want it down far down enough that our slow comers are more than fine. You guys should be. You guys should be. It did not move hard enough down in the opener that you should be out by any stretch of imagination here. All right, let's get this thing on the screen here. All right, you got 10 seconds. Yeah, it's at 113. You're more than fine. 114. You're good. You're good. All right, and she's closing out now. There she goes. Closed out at 118, so if you got in, you're golden. There you go. There's that 118 close. Good stuff. And it fell back down. So if you got in, you actually got a better close than I did. All right. So if you got in late, so who was our late close? It was AS. So AS, yeah, you're good. Yeah, but that goes to show you guys that's how important your entries are. You got to be quick with those things. How late did you get in, AS? Because I don't really understand how you got that low. How did you get that low? That should have been a, you know. That's a pretty big deal. Yeah, that's a pretty big deal. Were you know? I mean, there was a reason? Is it my fault, or I mean, was I not clear enough? What can we do to fix that? Oh, okay, okay, yeah, yeah. No, you want to make sure that you have your things on screen. Do it. Maybe try to do it how I do it, guys, where I have a second window up on screen. You can leave the room here, whatever it is, and just keep it so you can see what I'm doing, or if it's got me on the other side of the screen, in that way. You guys will figure out as you. That was pretty that was a pretty hard rise. Telemont, man. I guess I don't know. I guess you're not breaking the trampoline tonight, huh? Yeah, absolutely, guys. If you hear me say I'm taking this, if you hear me say I am taking this now, that is time to take it. Okay, that is time to take it. All right, as fast as you possibly can. That is time to take it. Okay, as you get better and more experience, you can delay them or take them earlier if you want. And that's when you'll say, oh, I give people props for beating my entry. Okay, because someone waited. They used a little bit of knowledge. Maybe they just got lucky, but I'll give them credit and say they didn't. But maybe. So, but as you get a little more experience, you can hold off just a couple seconds, or you can wait or go in a little early if you want. If you see something that you see, that maybe I'm not going to react to, and you get a better entry than I do, then absolutely all for it. Good stuff. But if you're new, you want to be as on. You want to be in sync with me as soon as possible. And you hear me say I am taking this. You need to be clicking that button with me when I'm, if I don't say that, I'll say I'm taking this now, all right, or I'm gonna do it, or anything like that. If I say that, that means I'm taking it right then and there, okay? And I repeat it over and over and over again. But you want to be in on those bad boys. You want to be in on those. It's rare that a couple seconds will matter. Last night, okay, we did have someone end up where 99% of us ended up with a win. He ended up with an at the money or a loss or one of the two. I don't really remember, on a winning trade, just because he got in just a little late, and I can't fault him for it because he wasn't really all that late. I think it was like 6 or 7 seconds, which isn't that crazy late. Usually that doesn't make a big difference. That is rare. This is a mimic of last night almost. That swung at the very last second because of a last minute bounce. It's just kind of unfortunate. Still a winning trade, no problem at all. But but because of that, that's why those entries are so important. Because the trade's still a winner, all right. But depending on when you took it, you might get rocked into the open in the next candle. Yeah. That's very common with the new candles. When a new candle opens, it's very common that if you're on a trade that you're expecting to close red, okay, for example, that the next candle will spike a short retracement really quickly and then go down. Yeah. It is common that it'll do something like that. But what is uncommon about it, Kelvin, it's uncommon that spike is enough to make you lose. Okay, because you were in the money by a mile. That thing came up by, I think that thing retraced like 3 pips. Something crazy. So, I can't, that's just, it's just anomalous. Can't really do much about it. Still a winning trade, but, it sucks that happened to you. So, it didn't happen to you on that one, though, right, Calvin? You got that winner, right? All right. Possibly going to have another 1-minute entry for our 60-second traders here. If we look at the euro over here, once again, this line's holding strong, getting rejection, and it's working its way back down to a nice bounce here. Honestly, AS, here's the thing about reading books. I'm going to be adding some more educational material to the guide. You guys asked for that last night, and I am going to be doing it. And I have already started to put some things together. but I'm not going to do it I'm not going to do it halfway. I'm not going to add just one thing at a time. I want to do it all or nothing. That's just the way I am. I want it to be complete when I re-upload it. Okay. Now you don't need to. There's enough information available for you on the internet that you can learn everything that you need to know on your own. Okay. And screen time is irreplaceable. Okay. Oh, poor Nikolay. Oh my. I'm so sorry for you, Nikolay. 4:30. That is brutal. I'm not a very happy morning person when it comes that early. Your best learning tool, honestly, though, really is it really is just doing it. Okay, and unfortunately, just doing it is going to when you're doing it on your own. That is, it's gonna cost you money. When you're doing it on your own, it is. That's just the way it works. There's a downside to everything that has an upside, and before you have your upside, you're gonna have your downside. Okay, look at this bounce again, by the way, on the euro dollar. I didn't even see that happen because I was talking to you guys and I was reading the chat. But yeah, it was a pretty perfect bounce there on the 1 minute. Yeah. yeah. It's all right, Charles. It's all right. Yeah, there's times it's up at the top right now. So what I would be doing now is I'd be waiting for a rejection, or if it's to be the close of the candle. All right, if it's to be the close of the candle, you could take it to the end of the candle, kind of a thing. If you're looking now, if you're new to 60 seconds, I would stay completely away from it. All right, you need 60 seconds in trading on your own is much more difficult than just trading with me. All right, it's not undoable, but I don't think Kelly started trading on her own for at least a few weeks. So. Yeah. The yen jumped up to the area where we were kind of expecting a lot of heavy rejection. This is what I was talking about. Every time it gets up here, it's starting to get rejected hard. So we do want puts up here, but down here we could look for calls. But we'll see. We'll see. But it's not going to be. It's not going to be advantageous for you guys to try to rush things. You guys need to have some patience. Okay. There's that fallout again. Yeah, 120. I was going to say, well, I've never seen a 128 second option. Rejection is an actual word. It's a term traders use. It's been around for ages. Okay. It means essentially what you would think it means. It means price is coming to a certain area, AS, and it's getting rejected. Okay. Generally speaking, you'll see people use the word rejection when price is reaching high to an area and getting rejected back down. And then you'll say price is supported when it's reaching low to an area and bouncing back up. So over here, all right, I'm going to use the 1 minute euro because it's prime picking here. All right. This top line is our rejection line. This bottom line is our support line, okay? So this is resistance. This is support and resistance. That's all it is. Price is coming up here, getting rejected, and coming right back down, all right? Price is trying to move through here. It's not working. The market, everyone wants to buy it, sells it right back down, okay? Price comes down here on these huge V's here. Boom, boom, boom. There's 4 big ones there, all right? And it's getting supported. It's getting rejected from this area. It's getting supported and bouncing right back up. So when I say it's getting rejected, if I'm talking about an area, we're expecting to see price at that area get rejected for moving past that point. Just says the 5 minute dollar yen is too bearish right now to make a call, right? It's not that it's too bearish. That's actually not the case at all. The problem is it's too undecided. It's still in a 50-50 zone, and it hasn't touched the bottom area, okay? I want to see it bounce off the purple before I have a little bit of confirmation to jump in on that bad boy for a call. Right now, it's just ping-ponging around as a doji candle. It's no good. It doesn't mean it can't become good very soon here, but it is 9:30 and that candle closed out, so there was no trade there. So you wouldn't be looking to touch that candle till you see it close somewhere around 9:34, and in 50 seconds or so. But right now it's 50-50. This is no trades with the dollar yen. The euro dollar is very 50-50, very doji. No trades there. Okay, the pound dollar broke up. This is actually kind of interesting. The pound dollar broke up here. Okay, and it's in a new zone. It really doesn't have anything stopping it. There's nothing to make the dollar or stop the. If the pound wants to continue to rise, it's going hard and heavy all the way up here. Look at this. Right, it's going hard and heavy all the way up here. Okay, it's going to reach for that. That's pretty big. So that's another candle in comparison to this size here. Okay, doesn't have to do it in one movement, but that's where it's headed if it's got the momentum for it. Okay, otherwise it's going to be an immediate retrace similar to this candle here. All right, but the Aussie is the only candle that's actually kind of at an area where it's kind of bouncing off of things right now, and it is bouncing off of this line right here. Okay, which is good. But everything's very, very 50-50. Essentially what you're seeing right now is the world as a whole has not made decisions yet. Okay, everyone's waiting for someone to make a play and then they're going to react on it. Everyone's taking a breath right now. And we will too. There's nothing to do right now. Kelly T. Lamont says he took my first 120-second trade on the resistance line on that euro. You're my first inspiration. Trade, not trade. Let's see. Way to go, T. So T, you got your winner then, right? Did you take a put right here? Is this what you're talking about? Good stuff. And you slammed home a winner, right? Good stuff. Okay. 20 to 34. Good stuff. Awesome. All right, now let's go down this list here. I got a lot of questions tonight, actually. I want to make sure I answer everyone's. If I don't answer your question, it's because I didn't see it because a bunch of other people said things too, and I apologize. I'm trying to scroll through here, so I'm trying to do it in order, be fair. Ray says, so does market structure play a factor when looking for rejections? Example, the V's. Yes. There's a lot of things that come into play. Okay. Where price is overall matters, okay? The trend that it's doing matters. The way the last temporary trend has been acting matters. There's a lot of things that matter, okay? And Ray's question kind of coincides. Let me answer Frank's question real quick because I think it's a short term. Will the pound dollar drop on that level? Stupid question. No, it's not a stupid question. Not at all. Good question, Frank. This is very undecided right now. This is what I'm saying. There's nothing holding it back from rising up here. But look, I told you the market is taking a breath. It has. Look at Doji. Well, that's not Doji anymore. The euro got a little bit of support there. But Doji over here, all right? The market's frozen right now. There's no good trading to be had. Now, if the pound dollar does drop back down here, the first thing you'd be looking for, Frank, is for it to bounce off of it. Because this is a new zone that it is into, but this is not a strong support line. It's a much stronger resistance line. And what I mean by that, it does much better at rejecting price below it than it does at supporting price and bouncing it up. So it's kind of a sketchier line to trade off of on the pound dollar. But we don't trade the pound dollar anyway. We just use it for confirmation, and we use the analysis on the pound dollar to coincide with other things. All right, and then it says, Charles says, can you talk about how you knew where to draw the lines? All right, Charles, where the lines go, all right, is a lot of things, okay? It's a lot of things. To me, it's very, very simple, and I could do it in about 2 seconds, all right? It's a lot of things that I see that I just like after seeing certain patterns throughout the waves, just where things are, are hiccuping, where this falls, where these end up touching, okay, where it blew through and ended up coming back down and supporting. There's things that I look for, and depending on how well an area has been tested and rejected from on both sides of the coin, that, in my mind, if there's a threshold that needs to pass, and I don't really know how to, to verbally describe the threshold that exists in my mind that I need to see before I draw the line, but once it passes that threshold, okay, I put a line there because I determine, after my experience that I like this level, I like this level, I like this level, I like these here, I like this trend line. You know, there's things I determine in my head just based on how many times I've seen it happen in the past. Okay, so I'm basing a lot of my things on patterns I'm seeing that I recognize from just previous trading, if that makes sense. Okay, you'll figure it. That's why I'm saying there's nothing that compares to screen time. When as far as trading goes, you can read every book in the world before you begin your trading career, and you will still fail. Okay, in the beginning, you will still fail. You might do better than others, but you will still fail, and you will fall on your face because that's what it takes, and that's just part of it. It's just accepted. I failed. Okay, I failed in the beginning. All right, but think of it like this: once you become profitable, you're profitable. It's simple as that. You don't go backwards. You don't start forgetting things. I don't have sundowners. I don't forget what I knew. The other day. It's That's all there is to it. It's the knowledge is linear. It builds on itself. Let's see what we got here. Chris, I used to trade. Calvin says I used to trade support and resistance levels, entering on the touch. Now that I see how you trade the levels with confirmation, I see why I was losing lots of trades. It works sometimes, but it's risky, no doubt. Absolutely. You don't want to trade blindly on them. You want to the market will tell you what it's going to do. It will tell you. You just need to pay attention to it. You need to see, you need to read it, is really what it is. I'm not trying to sound UFO-y, but the market will tell you what it's going to do. Okay? Because the market reacts on human response. We're all humans. Okay, so as long as you understand how people think and how people, with the market, that is, you're gonna eventually understand that once price gets to this area, you're expecting a massive sellout, you're expecting a massive buy, and it's gonna push price up or down. Took a lot longer to answer all those questions than I thought. Oh boy. I don't know what we're going to do once we start getting massively huge. I haven't figured that one out yet because I need to answer everybody's questions. That's my goal. I'm going to have I'm going to be having to drink like 4 bottles of water a session because I'm going to be talking so much. ASSO, just to be sure, if the price goes down, that is because lots of people are buying it, right? No. If the price goes down, it's a sell. Okay, people are selling it. All right. If the price goes down on the euro, people are selling the pound. I'm sorry. If the price goes down on the euro, they're selling the euro to the dollar. Okay. If people buy the dollar, the euro dollar goes down. If people sell the euro dollar goes down. Okay. If people buy the euro goes up in relation to the dollar. If people sell the dollar, the euro goes up in relation to the dollar. Does that make sense? Yeah. Buy bullish up. Sell bearish down. All right. Euro's playing with that level. The euro's actually frozen right in the middle right now. It's frozen exactly in the 50 zone, which is crap. We cannot touch this. This market better wake up. I'm not done yet. I'm still hungry. We've frozen here and nothing's happening. We had a breakout on the Aussie, but it's not a real breakout. It's just more or less the market's in a 20-minute grind right now. It's very similar candles continuously to grind down a couple ticks. It's not a strong little breakout at all. It could become one, but it's not strong yet. They would need to blow past this wick right here. Okay, it actually just passed that wick, so we might have something now. Might have something on the Aussie, but we will see. And this isn't the world's strongest level, so I'm not going to jump all over this. Wouldn't say we have a breakout, we're getting in for a put here. I'm not jumping all over this. This isn't one of those levels. Okay, it is a big deal, but where we might have a trade, but that alone does not justify a trade. And made a very last-minute move. But look at this, guys. The pound came down, bounced off the level, treated it as a support like we'd expect, and now it's moving up. Like I said, there's nothing really to shove this down. The only thing to shove this down is retracements of previous movements. And now that it has fallen and bounced back up, this bad boy's really got nothing stopping it. This is looking to rise. Okay. The only thing that's going to stop it is there's that correlate with it that are falling. So right now it is being held back by the euro because the euro is falling because it wants to bounce off of this. Once this euro gets down to this purple line, no doubt it's going to bounce. Okay, no doubt it's going to bounce, and this thing's going to rocket up here. Okay, because this is already wanting to rise with the euro still falling. It's a very bullish sign for the pound. So So that's good because when the euro gets down here, there's a lot going in its favor. But right now, the Aussie and the euro are falling. They are falling. I haven't gotten to where they need to go yet. And we have 1, 2, 3. Man, the dollar has completely died. The dollar yen has completely died. We have 3 dojis in a row. This candle finally made a little bit of movement. Yeah, no problem, Frank. I figured I knew what you meant. Yes, Frank, I do draw those lines. I put those there. Okay? I put the lines there. What is a doggy? Well, I think a doggy barks, and in my mind, a doggy does not weigh less than 20 pounds. So, if you have a Chihuahua, don't tell me that's a dog. It doesn't count in my book. A doji, okay, spelled D-O-G-I, is a candle that looks just like. Let me find you a perfect one, okay? All right. This looks like one right here, but the red line's in the way right now. I might have to go back. There's a perfect one right here on the euro, and I'm trying to show you, but here, let me zoom in. I'll show you. Here we go. This will be good enough. Okay. This, essentially where it's at right now, is a doji candle, okay? Now it's not because it's moved. But we're going to look at this green candle here. Actually, better yet, let's look at this red candle. This is a picture-perfect doji here. I'd consider all of these doji candles because they're close enough in my book. But as far as the ones that I was poking at right there. But this red candle right here, okay, where I've got my mouse on, all right, it has a wick above it, it has a wick below it, and it's come back, and it's closed at the open. It's closed at the open, okay? So this was doji. This was doji, okay? It didn't have a very high wick candle, very high candle above it, but that's still a doji in my book. It means essentially the same thing, all right? This was essentially a doji candle. This was essentially a doji candle. This was essentially a doji candle. There's a lot of dojis, which isn't really good. We don't like to trade on them. They're not strong signals. Pin bars are much better, okay? Pin bars are much better. Inside bars are much better. There's a lot of better setups out there. Dojis are pretty. Basically, the market is undecided on a doji candle, and it's not a good time to enter a trade if you can help it. There are times when you can trade off of dojis, though. There are times when your analysis says that's okay. If it's depending on where it comes, it looks like this is a breakout here on the Aussie. This thing is going down heavier and heavier. But anyway, what do we got here? Calvin says dojis. Let's see what this is. Good addition. Good stuff there, Calvin. Yeah. So this is a bunch of baloney. All right. Don't confuse yourself with all these stupid terms that people get involved with. Really, it doesn't matter. Okay. I know what I see when I see prices. Okay. And I'm not going to sit here and call it a 4-price doji, a gravestone doji, a dragonfly doji, a long-legged doji, and a doji. No, it's a frickin' doji, guys. That's all that matters. Okay. They essentially. Oh, I'm logged out. They essentially mean the same thing. Okay. In your world, they just treat them all the same. Exactly. There's a million. If you guys actually go into my there we go. All right, it updated. I know I'm not logged in when it doesn't show my balance. That's why I was waiting there. If you guys go into the world of candlesticks, okay, there's a lot of reading. There's a lot of reading. I mean, you could study candlesticks for days, if not weeks. It depends on how quick of a learner you are. But it's pretty ridiculous. There's some important ones that you should know, but you'll learn as you go along. There's just certain patterns that matter, and there's other ones that it doesn't matter that some guy named Joe called it a gravestone or a shooting star or a hanging man, or these are all real candle patterns, guys. But the point is it's a little redundant. It's a little overkill, and it doesn't really matter that much. What is going on the euro? Euro just broke out. Euro just broke out. Look at that. Is that zoomed in? Why does that look like that? It's not. Oh, it's because it shoved the other part of the chart off. Okay. Euro just did a breakout here. Finally. That's pretty interesting news. Euro broke out on the 5 minutes too. We have breakouts here. These are breakouts. Now we are in trading zone. Let's see if we can get one more slammer in here. And I'd be very curious, okay? I'd be very curious to see if the euro fully breaks out. Remember, we trade and closed that, and it's still very early into the candle. The 1 minute candle broke out, but not the 5 minutes, okay? Because it hasn't closed yet. There's no way to determine if it's a breakout yet on the 5 minute. But if this breaks out, we should be seeing a breakout on the dollar yen. If it's to come back up and close, we should have a trade either way because we're going to have a trade on the dollar yen to put. So right now it's getting rejected by our purple line to the T. So we might have a trade here regardless. It's too early to call a yellow light because if you refresh your broker, you still might be logged out by the time the trade comes. But we're looking for a trade in about 3 minutes. Now, ideally, what we would like to see, because I really do like the dollar yen, and I like this level on the dollar yen, and I like this level on the euro, I would like to see that euro power back up, and this be a very temporary thing here. I'd like to see that euro, there it goes, there's that power. All right, actually flung up very, very hard. Okay, I'd like to see this power back up and stay green and look to keep pushing green in order to get on this and close this down. But the problem is we don't want it to do it just yet. This is where the market gets frustrating because we don't want to get in when it's already down. Okay, if we can help it, we want to get in on that purple line somewhere around there if we can help it. So do you put more emphasis in candlestick sentiment then? Yes. And, I mean, I put more emphasis in screen time. You'll start to know things. I could teach a monkey to trade, guys, if I had long enough. It'd take years, but I could do it. It's repetitive. Okay. You know, you see things, you start to remember how they reacted. You see things, you start. No, I'm not calling any of you guys monkeys. Not at all. I mean, look at Kelly. Kelly is far from a monkey. She's doing well. I mean, she's a success story. I mean, she's not the only one we've had either, which is good news. We had people in here killing it just like Kelly was before Kelly was here that had to leave for other life reasons. You know, not because they were, you know, they were doing poor or anything. They were doing amazing. Let's see. Well, I'm exactly. Oh no! You're not an idiot, right? Yeah. Let's see. Yeah. But it just comes with screen time. There really aren't a whole lot of shortcuts you can take. Okay, you get what you put on. You know, you get out of it what you put into it. This is curious. This is curious. All right, yellow light, yellow light, yellow light, yellow, 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 yellow light. Yellow light. Might have something here, folks. Might have something here, folks. I'm going to warn you now, though. If I get a mixed signal because of what's going on with these cross pairs, we're going to be throwing it out. All right. It's the dollar yen, and we haven't taken it. We're looking for a put, all right? So I'm getting my thing set up, and I'm ready to click it. We haven't taken it yet. It's too high right now. Okay, it's no trade. It's too high. It's actually closing over my line. That doesn't really matter, okay? It's not a breakout, but we're not taking a trade because that's too close to my line or too much over my line for an open, okay? We're not touching that. We're waiting, okay? What's curious about that is both of those were very hard. That was a hard green candle on the euro and a hard green candle on the dollar yen. All right, now the euro dollar is respecting what was going on with the dollar yen, but we even have a red candle here on the. They're coinciding right now. That's not too ideal, guys. All right, but meanwhile, back at the Hall of Justice, we have the Aussie dollar over here, guys, plummeting to an area that we do like. Okay, here's an X. You see my X?
This is the intersection of this level and this trend line. Okay, and it's on the opposite side of the trend line now. All right, so if this Aussie can get down here to my X, okay, yes, it's going to be a little bit past it, but if it can get down here to this point here, I am very interested in the Aussie for a call. All right, so we've got action now. The market froze up on us for a good little bit, and now we've got action again. All right, I'm glad to see the market was here. I was worried for a little bit there that we weren't going to have any more trades. That was pretty dull, but I'm pretty sure we're going to have one here. So the dollar yen is getting rejected back below, but the reason we didn't enter that trade, guys, okay, we were looking for this put, we were looking for this red close, but we didn't enter because it closed over our line here, all right? And that is very, very sketchy, okay? This could keep moving up with a close like that, all right? We don't want that. This, you know, there's no way for you to know in a close like this with no wick on the top, okay? We're not testing this area at all. There's no way for you to know that this is not going to be a rise up, okay? It's not going to be a waterfall. It's going to be green, 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 green. A green waterfall right now would look just like this and keep going, okay? It's 50-50, so we don't touch that. It needs to show a little bit of rejection first. But meanwhile, what do we got here? Frank said something here. The dollar yen, good for an uptrend after this candle. No, not yet. It is not. Okay, not if this candle's you know, this all doesn't matter because we have to see where the candle's closed. But if the candle is to close red back below this line, it is not good for an uptrend. The dollar yen would be good for falls, which is why we're looking for puts. We're looking for puts on the dollar yen, but we're looking for calls on the Aussie right now. We really, really would like this Aussie to stop rising so hard and heavy, all right, in the same candle that it got kind of near it. It's at a 50-50 zone, and we're not going to be touching it. But this dropout here, if we can get an entry anywhere down here, we are calling the Aussie. I will absolutely be calling the Aussie if I can get a good entry on it. Yeah, that Aussie is rocketing up. And we would expect it, but man, I wish the thing would come on down there. And that dollar yen is falling out. Pound dollar about to find some support here, most likely, and bounce up too. Dollar yen has big news in 10 minutes, Frank says. What news is this, Dollar, that you're speaking of, Mr. Frank here? Oh, are you talking about some more tentative monetary policy? Calvin comes in with a call on the Aussie and slams home a win. Good stuff. Yeah, that's kind of what we were worried about tonight. Is the news? Got to be careful with it. All right. Jess says, do you put the purple line on the base of the doji or the tip? I'm not sure I really understand. I think you might be using the word doji wrong. A doji doesn't have a base or a tip. I don't know that I understand that question. Try to. Okay, all right. So we have candlesticks, we have bodies, and we have wicks. Okay, yes, or you can call them shadows. That's another term. That's yes, good job, Jennifer. That's another bodies and shadows. All right. These purple lines aren't here based on dojis, not at all. But they're based on levels and areas I see. Okay. Yeah. They're based on levels I see. Okay, so essentially I'm looking at areas. It's basically, essentially what I'm doing is I'm taking an average in my head. Okay? I'm looking at an area itself as a whole where I'm seeing price, get, for example, I'm seeing price commonly have trouble and get rejected from, okay? And I'm taking that average area. It's not going to be perfect on every single lineup, and I'm going to use that knowledge, and the better I am with it, the more the future price is going to respect it. Look at this euro dollar. I know I'm getting a little ADD here, but look at this. This perfect 50-50 zone. Look at this. This is ridiculous. Here, look at this. From there to here, it is stuck in a very, very tight zone over and over. I mean, it breaks out occasionally, but look at that. That is a very, very common place for price to get stuck in. That's curious, and that's almost exactly 50 of the zone. Anyway, but I'm looking at zones where price is reacting to, and I'm marking them with my purple lines as possible areas to expect, some fight. Okay, either a turnaround or or something. It's gonna do something there. It's either a turnaround or a blowout. Okay, because once it makes it through, it's cruising on up. I don't want to do this now. Later. All right, there we go. I was talking about my antivirus, guys. Look at this. This is crazy. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. 17 minutes of candles stuck in a very tight zone. Oh, come on. Come on. Does anybody... I cannot remember a night where we've only had one trade. It's happened. Believe me, it has, but not in a long while. Come on. Yeah, Tielemont's never even seen one. Yeah, I hope you don't see one tonight. Come on. Oh, yeah, it's a winner. Yeah, so either way, yes, that's good job, Ray, for being on the optimistic side. This is my trading room, so I've been running it since the beginning. I don't know if that was what you meant, or how long has it been open? I've had it open. It's been about 7 or 8 months now. I think it's 8 months now, because I've been saying 7 for like a month, so I feel like it's got to be at 8 now. Our market is absolutely frozen. Okay, and a lot of this, breakout on euro. Breakout on euro. Here we go. Now that's a breakout. That's going to be a breakout. Very, very likely, guys. The Aussie broke out too, but I don't think that'll hold. I think the Aussie's going to end up bouncing back up into the zone. We'll see, though. But that euro definitely broke out. All right. We have the news release coming out here. All right. We have the news release coming out, which has kind of been out the entire time, but it's tentative. So with that being said, a lot of the market, the reason why we see so many dojis tonight could be because a lot of people are waiting for specific things to make moves on. It happens with news sometimes. So that could be what we're stuck at here. Now, Calvin, you said you were expecting some news based or at 10 o'clock, you said? Was it Calvin, I think, that said that? The market's very choppy right now, but there's that rejection. That's what I was talking about. I said the Aussie was probably going to get rejected right back up into this level. Huge fight back up on the euro. Wow. That euro is so determined. So determined to stay in this zone. Incredible. Somebody said something about the news. Who was that? Let me scroll up. I'll look. I'm talking to so many people, I forget, so I apologize. Oh, Frank did? Oh, okay. Frank, what were you talking about now on the news? Where did you see that? Where did you see posted that 10 o'clock Eastern Standard was going to be a specific release here? He's typing. Yeah, tonight is just a crummy night because of that news. Okay, you got an indicator telling you that. All right, well, yeah, that's good and all. Well, Forex Factory's right here, bud. This is what we got on screen. Forex Factory just has the tentative. It doesn't say 10 o'clock, if that's what you're talking about. When we go here, it's fine. Oh, I apologize. I'm humming one of my songs. I like this song. It's a good one. I like violin. A manly man that likes violin. Oh, God, don't tell people. All right. But, yeah, I have not seen anything that says it's going to come out exactly at 10. That's why I was curious where you got that information from. I'm not saying you're wrong, but that news release means essentially we don't know exactly when it's going to come out, and that's half the problem on a tentative news release. It's more or less, hey, this guy said this, boom, 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 bye, 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 bye. All right, that's essentially what's going on right now. They're waiting for certain things to happen, and we don't know exactly when they're going to say certain things. All right, but we'll see. I know it's a little late, guys. I'm gonna see if we don't get anything by 10:05. If we don't, I'm shutting her down. It's a shame that we're only at 1, but it's 1 of profit. So you hit it hard, you hit it heavy. Good job, you're in profit. All right, so it's all a step forward. So there's really no downside at all. But I want to see what happens here at after this supposedly. His indicator might know something I don't, but I want to see. If nothing happens by 10:04, 10:05, we're done. So, yeah, tonight was a very good night because it was slow. We got to get a lot of information out there, and a lot of our newer members hopefully learned some things. So I hope you guys were able to catch some information out of all that talk in there. Not really a huge dropout here on the euro. So the euro is finally breaking. Okay, euro is finally breaking. Okay. Now, if this was because of the news release, we'd be expecting to see this happen on the dollar yen right now. So the euro is making some big movements because it broke a level. That's really all I'm seeing here. This is price action in my book. I don't call this news at all. It finally has fully broken a level. This will not come back above this level. All right, not in the same candle. This is way too hard and heavy. Will not do it. Now, very, very curious as to why the dollar yen hasn't blown up yet. That level is holding extremely strong on the dollar yen. With such bearish movement on the euro, this thing should be getting ready to fly. That is an incredible level if it can't break that with such a heavy movement over here. This thing just dropped like 10 pips, guys. Maybe 7. Okay, maybe 5. My eyes deceive me. I'm sorry. It's 5. Okay, so it dropped 5 pips. Either way, that's a big movement, especially for the euro when all of our candles have been about 1 to 2 pips maximum. That's a huge increase. It's definitely a breakout candle. But what's going on with this euro, dollar yen? That is a very, very strong level, but it is frozen. Yeah, that's scary. That dollar yen is scary, guys. Very scary. It's up to something. It's up to no good. These two candles here, guys. This is what you need. You need to look at this as a unit. Imagine the last 10 minutes have merged together, and it hasn't really made a movement. Now imagine the last 15 minutes have merged together. It hasn't really made a movement. It's touching the same areas. Okay, now imagine the last 20 minutes have merged together. Okay, it hasn't really made a movement. This thing is about to do something. It's going to do something, and the market's waiting, is eagerly waiting. But yeah, I'm done with this one tonight, guys. I don't know what this dollar yen is fixing to do, but it's going to be something. It's looking to do something. Okay. When everybody gets off of their high horses and decides to make a movement, it's going to react. But right now, the market's frozen. Okay, aside from what the euro is doing, but I'm just talking about the dollar yen specifically. But with that being said, okay, let's see what we got here.
AS took a call on the euro dollar and won it. I am guessing he took a short term. Let's see what he said there. It was 181 to 192. He took a 303. Yeah, he took a short term. Yeah, he grabbed this bounce here. That's okay. That's a little risky, Charles. Or no, AS. I'm sorry. That's a little risky, AS. But it's okay because there is reason. Excuse me, I'm getting the hiccups now. There is reason for you to take that because you took such a hard and heavy movement here. But what's scary about that is you weren't really at a solid point yet. I would have been waiting for 125, 166 before I would have been looking for my calls. But you on 1 minute, that's okay because you caught a temporary retracement. Be very careful with that. All right, be careful with that. Yeah. So, but good stuff, guys. We're gonna end it. We're gonna end it with all wins tonight. Well, I'm sorry. We're gonna end it with a win tonight, and it is what it is. A win's a win. All right. It's all progress, absolutely forward, no losses. You know, that's the way it goes. So. Good stuff. So good start to the week. We're going to keep it rolling tomorrow. Watch out, guys, because the dollar yen is up to something suspicious, and I don't like it. I do not like it. So there's something going on, and the euro is very alive right now. Look at the euro. The market has come alive. Look at this. It was frozen and has come alive. There's something going on, and I'm not going to mess with it, guys. And I suggest you don't either. You can watch it for entertainment value and maybe see if you can watch some crazy stuff happen. But this definitely is starting to look like news movement now. Okay, this push here is pretty huge on the euro. This is a very large push down. It's past this point here, and it's kind of wacky now. But with that being said, what's that? What day is it in America right now? Oh, it's Tuesday. It is Tuesday, yes. Good question. It is Tuesday. It is currently Tuesday. It is 10:08 p.m. Yeah. So you're yeah. It's Wednesday. It's Wednesday. How about that? That sounds like a very relaxed day. Wednesday. That sounds like an interesting one. But let's see. Yeah, yen looks like it wants to. Oh, there it goes. Yen finally did break. Told you it was up to something. It was up to something. There it goes. Yeah, this is news movement now. But yeah, everybody have a good night. If you have any questions, if you're new, please look at the guide. Okay, look at the guide. No problem, guys. Look at the guide. Go through the bankroll management. There's also a section in the guide I want to draw attention to, especially now because we are opening the morning session. That's a definite. We're working on it as we speak. Okay, that's what we're doing during the day. There's an affiliate program in there, okay, where you guys will make money for everybody that you bring in, okay, and it's good. You're spreading the word. You're helping them. If anyone that's interested in furthering their trading, you know, they're trading, you know, knowledge, anything to that nature, and they're looking a little make their money in the process. You know, it's a win for them. It's a win for us because our base is growing, and it's a win for you because you get the money from the membership, okay. And it explains all that in the guidebook. So if you're curious, you can access that at any time. Just log into your account and click on the tab and scroll through, and it says for the hungriest of owls, I believe is what I named it, because I'm so great with my corny jokes. But with that being said, guys, let's end the night here, and we'll pick it back up tomorrow. Big breakout here on the dollar yen. But good night, guys. This is Chris with Night Owl Signals. Over and out. See you all tomorrow, guys.